What's good, everybody? It's the Clown with Cap Show. College football week 4. I'm very disappointed. I'm in shock. Dealing with Notre Dame Fighting Irish. We had the game in the bag. We had Ohio State beat. Many chances to win this game. And what happens? Yet again, it reminds me of the 2005, the Bush push. Notre Dame versus USC. We ended up losing that game. And we ended up fumbling the bag and losing the game last night. I'm still in shock. I don't really know what to think. I mean, there's a lot of people to blame, not just the head coach, Marcus Freeman. Yes, there were some questionable calls. One of my main calls with Coach Marcus Freeman is Notre Dame were up 14-10. We had the ball with like 3 minutes to go, and it's first down. We end up, I think we do a screen, which I don't necessarily like in that spot. I think Estimate's the guy, who's really getting the drive going late game. We had the ball with 3 minutes to go, 4 minutes to go, and it's just like, we tried to like switch it up. I think we need to stick to our MO and consistently run it with Estimate till the third down. I mean, Estimate can pick up at least a couple yards even on a bad drive, and he picked up the first down, and then it's like 3:30 left, and then we do some really bad calls. The screen pass, which is incomplete, which really should have got picked off right there. I thought that was going to happen, and then we got like 2nd and 15. We end up don't doing anything, and then 3rd and 15, we end up running the ball, which I think that was the worst call in Marcus Freeman's, head coaching career at Notre Dame right there. We're up 4, and we decide to run it on 3rd and 15, 3rd and long. Let's go for the shot. Let's throw the ball down the field with Sam Hartman. We got talent, dude. We got Tyree. We have a lot of explosive players. It wasn't like the skill difference was much different between Ohio State and Notre Dame. I just thought that was the worst call all game. I did love the call when Coach Marcus Freeman, I think it was the first half, we ended up going for it instead of kicking the field goal, and we don't get it. And then we saw Ohio State on the goal line stand. Notre Dame stopped them, and it was still 0-0. We had a lot of opportunities, even in the first half. Kyle McCord threw it in the end zone. We had an opportunity to intercept it, so it should have been 0-0 at halftime. So really it should have been a tie ball game the whole game. And I'm just looking at it, and I cannot believe it. And then DJ Brown, he had what of a game. Cornerback for Notre Dame. I mean, he really balled out, and he made this play which would have sealed the game, and he knows it too. He read Kyle McCord. They're marching down the field, and he jumps the route and has the pick to win the game right here, sealed, and it goes right through his hands. And he knew once he dropped that interception, he was like, oh my gosh, this cannot be happening, right? Notre Dame is not about to fumble the bag, are they? But DJ Brown made that play. He read the quarterback. He jumped the route, and I thought for sure it really should have been a pick six. Like, DJ Brown read it perfectly, dude. Like, this was textbook. He just read the quarterback, read the receiver, jumped the route, and really, like I said, a pick six. He didn't have to do a pick six. He could have just picked it and just dropped to his knees and won the game right there. That was an opportunity for Notre Dame to win the game. And like I said earlier, the 3rd and 15, let's throw the ball down the field. That's another opportunity to Notre Dame to ice the football game. And then we got 3rd and 18, or 3rd and 19, and then Kyle McCord throws it like in triple coverage, which was a great pass, at the time. And I'm thinking, what's DJ Bertrand doing? I don't know. He was just kind of like sagging back. It was kind of like a prevent defense, which I think we should have just really put pressure on Kyle McCord on that last drive. We're up by 4. They have to score a touchdown. Let's sack them here. 3rd and 19, and they converted on the 2 or 1 yard line. And I'm thinking, dude, that was essentially the game. And then Notre Dame last 2 plays only had 10 players on the field. I don't understand that. Marcus Freeman said he couldn't bring his defensive tackle in. My thing is, when they called the last time out when it was 3rd down, why didn't they just have the goal line in then? I mean, dude, they're literally right there. I don't understand it. I think the miscues added up for Notre Dame. Like I said, they had so many opportunities to win this game. I mean, hats off to Ohio State and Kyle McCord. They got the job done. Shout out to Henderson. He made that big run, I think, in the 3rd quarter. But overall, Notre Dame, there's no reason they should have lost this game. They had this game in the bag. It was just, to me, I look at head coach Marcus Freeman, and he realizes he did mess up. Only 10 guys on the field the last 2 plays, dude. You got to get goal line standing there. I mean, we've been in the trenches. Really, we've been better than they have been in the trenches. Our offense and defensive line have been better than Ohio State this whole game. Like, it was just, I just kind of still in shock. Like, I'm so sad, disappointed, but am I surprised about it? No, because historically, watching Notre Dame growing up as a kid to now, I've seen this movie over and over again where we should have won the game and we lost. Like I said back in 2005, the Bush push. We should have won that game. We had USC 4th and 9 to lose the game. And USC's looking to three-peat that year. Like that, and we lose that game. And Matt Leinart ends up throwing like a 50-yard ball to go down to like the 10-yard line. And then we remember what happens. It's just a nightmare that we just relived. It really is. Being at Notre Dame field, growing up a Notre Dame fan, it's just a nightmare we just keep reliving over and over again. It's like we can't get out of this nightmare. Like, how are we going to get out of this nightmare, right? How are we going to get over the hump? But I just, Notre Dame, there was really no skill difference. Like, we have the skill, absolutely. And I applaud Marcus Freeman for that. I just don't applaud for some of the bad calls late game stretch. I think that was the worst call overall, not just the 10 players. I'm not really, yeah, that's bad, but what led up to that? I just think the 3rd and 19, them converting, that was a bad, only rushing like 3 players. We need to put pressure on this guy. Have them complete a 12-yard play, that's fine. Then it'll be 4th down. Like, don't let it get it all the way 19 on one play on 3rd down, 3rd and long. Like, dude, they just don't make sense. But like I said, the worst call all game was the 3rd and 15 run, with about 3 minutes to go, 2 minutes to go. Why run there? Like, that's just basically playing defensive, and that's, to me, that's not playing to win. We have Sam Hartman, a veteran quarterback. Let's throw the ball down the field. Let's take a chance here. Like, running the ball and getting, 2 or 3 yards? It just doesn't make sense to me. So, hats off to Ohio State. Obviously Ohio State, I think they're going to run the table. I mean, their biggest test is definitely Penn State in the Big Ten. I don't think Michigan is, obviously they're the number 2 overall, but I just think Michigan really has a cupcake schedule, and I don't think they're as good defensively as they were the past couple years. So I think Michigan really is the 3rd best team in the Big Ten. I think it's Penn State and Ohio State, and whoever wins out of those 2 are going to win it. But, what I learned from Ohio State really isn't all that much. I mean, they're a hard-nosed football team, but are they a national championship caliber team? Yes, they obviously, because they have Marvin Harrison Jr., the best player in college football right now, the best receiver. He's probably a top 5 pick. And really we did different schemes here and there, but Marcus Freeman really had a good plan. We didn't just run estimate the whole time. We had different backs going in and out, throwing different packages at Ohio State. I just think only 14 points with Sam Hartman and company, that's not enough. We have to score more, and obviously everybody forgets Notre Dame missed the field goal in the first half. Like, that was huge, dude. Like, we hit that field goal, we're talking an overtime game or, a goal line stand. I think Ohio State really, if it was 17-16, I think Ohio State would have went for 2, would have went for the game right then and there. Nobody had any timeouts left, and that was it. And I think Ohio State would have went for the game, and then it would have been either 16-17 or 18-17. But it's a game of inches, and they barely got in, so congratulations to Ohio State. They're in. They're a top 4 team, obviously. If they win out and win the Big Ten championship this year, Ohio State, I wouldn't be surprised if they're the number 1 team in the country, or at least number 2, Georgia and Ohio State. So, like them, but I just think Ohio State will definitely be in the college football playoff, to whereas what's next for Notre Dame? Obviously, they have to win out. They have to beat Duke, who's not a bad team. They beat Clemson this year. And we have to beat USC. And we have to win out and really get lucky as well on top of that. We have to have other teams lose. We need Oregon to lose, or Georgia. Like, a lot of things have to go right for Notre Dame now. And that's the thing with college football. It's like every game is like a playoff game, especially for a program like Notre Dame. You have to win big games like this, especially when you're driving. We're down 10. We scored 14 unanswered points. And it's like one of them drives where it's like, all right, Sam Hartman, we got the ball with 3 minutes to go. This is the game, man. We don't want to give it back to Ohio State. And that's why I said the sequence of call plays there with head coach Freeman, it just did not add up. The 3rd and 15 run play, that tells me everything I need to know right there. When they did the 3rd and 15 run play, I said, oh my gosh. I just had flashbacks. I was just like, this is from 2005 again, dude. This cannot be happening. It really can't. But, like I said, Notre Dame still has a shot, still has an opportunity. They literally lost. It came down to one play. So we know that Notre Dame has talent. They can play against the best. They can compete against the best. Whereas with Brian Kelly, we got into these type of games, we would have got blown out by Ohio State. We wouldn't even been up on Ohio State. So, I think Marcus Freeman is going in the right direction, but really some key miscues late game in this game. Like, we had it in the bag many times. And like I said, DJ Brown, he had that pick, dude. He really did. He knows it. He had that pick sealed up, dude. He read it perfectly, just jumped around, and I thought it was game. I thought, it's over, pick right here, and it just slipped right through his hands. It was just, it was like the college football gods just did not want Notre Dame to win tonight. So, hats off to Ohio State. Notre Dame still has an outside chance. Just, another disappointing game. And then we got Colorado versus Oregon. Oregon, look, ran through Colorado. I even called this game. This was my lock pick all weekend. This just was a reality check for Colorado and company. Without Travis Hunter, this was an easy pick for me. Travis Hunter, we're talking like a superstar athlete type of guy. He can play receiver and he can play cornerback. He plays both ways in Division I football, which is insane, and he was out. So that's why essentially I went Oregon. Even with Travis Hunter, they probably would have lost, but they probably would have made this game a little bit more competitive. But 42-6, I mean, it was just a blowout. And shout out to Bo Nix, the Auburn transfer. He had 276 yards passing with 3 touchdowns. 1 pick. Troy Franklin, he had 126 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns. It just, Colorado defensively just was not there. It was all Oregon, and it's just really what I thought it would be. Vegas told us enough with the 21-point favorite there. It was just like, yeah, they're basically saying Colorado's going to get ran out and ran the field, but nothing against Coach Primetime. Coach Primetime, Deion Sanders, I mean, heck of a coach. This is just 1L. And I think what he's done for college football has just been amazing this year. So I'm not going to, bash Primetime like he did his best. You know what I'm saying? And they won fair and square, and Oregon was definitely the better team here. I just think moving forward with Coach Primetime, he will get better talent in Colorado. He will get guys that can compete against guys like from Oregon. He just will. It just happens over time, so that's going to take time. But this was all Oregon here, and Sanders only had 1 touchdown this game. So, shout out to Oregon. They just ran right through Colorado. And like I said, this was a reality check for Colorado. So it's going to be a long, long season. Even though they're 3-1 right now, for Coach Primetime, he understands it's a long, long season. So shout out to the Oregon Ducks getting the job done. And then we got Michigan versus Rutgers. Like I said, Michigan has a cupcake schedule this year once again. And it's just like the same every year for Michigan. In the past couple years, they've been getting to the big game. 2 years ago, they played against Georgia and got blown out in the college football playoff. So it's just like, I want to see tougher games for Michigan, Ohio State, some of these Big Ten programs where it's just like they're playing these cupcake teams. Rutgers, come on, dude. Like, I want to see Michigan playing against like Ole Miss, Alabama, somebody just mixing it up. But they won 31-7. Harbaugh's back. They won, but I'm just looking at Michigan and realizing, look, they are a little overrated to me. To be the number 2 team in the country, dude, it's just, I don't see Michigan winning the national championship this year. That's what I do know. So, but congrats to Michigan, getting the big win over a shitty team like Rutgers. And then we got Florida State versus Clemson. I picked Clemson with the upset. They had many opportunities here, but we have to give homage to Florida State, their defense, especially making plays in that third quarter, sacking the quarterback and then scooping it up for the touchdown to tie the game. And really, it looked like Clemson was going to run away with this game. And then, Florida State battled back. Jordan Travis, he put his team on his back. 298 yards passing with 2 touchdowns, 31-24 in overtime. And this was a key win by Florida State. Florida State basically said, hey, this is our make or break season right here. We're in Death Valley. We're playing Clemson, dude. We're supposed to, right now we're just not playing well. And it looks like they're going to lose. Then they get that strip fumble for 6. And then they just battle back. And Florida State, man, they're a top 4 team in the country. What we learned from Florida State, they're resilient. They never give up on every single play. It's a championship play for Florida State. And I'm looking at Clemson and Coach Dabo Swinney and realizing, man, maybe the dynasty is slipping away. The 2-time national championship head coach, that might be drifting away.